Canyons, and I've got the keys to the Camaro ZL1 1LE. Of course, we took this thing to Chuckwalla, put it through its paces, see what the track car can do on the track, but now we're in the Canyons, and like I said, I've got the keys to this thing, so let's get it on the road and send it through some turns. All right. We're setting out in the Camaro ZL1 1LE. Let's get this thing out of touring mode. Start in sport mode. So instantly when we put it in sport mode, you notice a shifting difference. It drops a gear, the revs get a bit higher. The car instantly starts to basically react to the road. Touring mode dampens it a bit. You know, it's a bit softer of a ride. Not softer ride, but you get softer steering. The transmission tuning is a bit dampened. The shifting is far less aggressive. Now, one thing to remember with this car is that it's got the fixed dampers. It's got the spool valve damper. So you're not getting a difference in ride quality or ride control. That's fixed in place. Get a consistent feel through the turn, and there's no difference in suspension. It stays the same at all times. But what you do get when you change the modes in this car is you get a difference in steering and transmission feel. So the steering is going to tighten up a bit in sport and even more in track. The transmission is going to become, you know, it's going to be more vocal. It's going to downshift more when you brake. It's going to, you know, upshift a lot later in the power band because it knows that you're trying to go after it. See, it's just hanging in the gear right there because it knows that I'm going after it. It's almost like the car knows that we're in the Canyons. Downshifts for me at the perfect time. You can really get after it in this car. We haven't even hit the most aggressive points yet. We're going to put it in racing, or not racing, we're going to put it in track mode because the amount of times that I've driven this car in an aggressive setting, like for example on Chuckwalla, or in a setting like this, I've noticed that track mode it's way more intelligent with how it shifts. So when it feels you slowing down to a very tight turn, it's already putting it in a gear that's going to be perfect for getting out of the hole once you complete the turn. Just like that right there, you can see performance shift active on the cluster, and that's because the car realizes that you're in the turns, you're in a setting where you want to have the car wake up. Oh man, it's a little bit hard to talk because this car is definitely a handful. Jeez. About the ZL1 is that you get the Supercharged LT4, and so with that you get instant power, and it's a lot of power at the same time. So you get that supercharger which winds up right away. There's no lag in it. 650 horsepower, and you can feel all of it, guys. The car has Goodyear Eagle F1 3R tires. These things feel great. We raced them at Chuckwalla, and you know, I couldn't get the car to break loose there. Of course, we were in perfect conditions. It started to rain towards the end of the day, but for most of the day, it was perfect conditions. And today, we've got similar. Dry roads, nice cool boost weather. This is perfect boost weather. It's about, I can't tell how cold it is. I'm gonna guess it's about 47 degrees today. And I mean, yeah, it's cold out, but it feels great inside of here. We've got the heated and cooled seats. Of course, I got the heated seats on right now. Ooh, that felt great. around the inside, around the outside, around the inside, around the outside. The car just wants to be a freaking merry-go-round. It's on rails, guys. Of course, I'm driving within my limits, my skill level, because I'm not a professional race car driver, but I do have a little bit of experience driving in the canyons, and it's something that I really enjoy doing at the same time. So what a weapon to be bringing here to Palomar Mountain, not far from San Diego, where we are based out of. This car has a very aggressive seating position. You know, you're right there. You have all the controls right at your fingertips. Your paddles right there. Of course, the shifter's there. You're never really going to need that because this thing has the 10-speed automatic. And speaking of 10-speed automatic, the cool thing about this transmission is that you're always in the right gear, especially when it's in track mode and the car becomes more woke and more intelligent. Wow. I gotta say, the other modes don't quite drive as good as track mode does when it comes to the shifting and the steering feel, but obviously with the push of a button, you get all of that, going straight to the steering wheel, so it feels great. Stuff is flying everywhere in the back. I need to stop. And not only does this car go, but it can stop too. It's got those 6-piston Brimbos up front, 4-piston in the rear to haul this thing down to a stop like butter, like nothing. It's so easy. Which obviously that's very confidence inspiring as well. Like, it feels good to use the paddles, but when you put it in track mode, the car really knows what it's doing, and you don't need to shift at all. You don't need to shift. It does it all for you, and it does it in very good, snappy timing to where it's faster than you could ever shift as a human, too. Hate to say it, I love manual transmissions, and it's my favorite thing to do, but when you're in a proper automatic like this, it does it for you. Of course, sometimes I get distracted and I want to do something. I press the paddles. I don't even need to do that, but it just feels nice. See how fast it downshifted right there? It did all that on its own, which I love. I think we've reached the end of our road here, so we're probably going to flip around and see if the general stores are. Okay, yeah, cool. So we've reached the end of the road, and we're going to flip around, and we're going to go back down the mountain. So that was a lot of fun. Wow. Okay, yeah, so that was a lot of fun. Let's just process what just happened. So up the mountain, this thing absolutely hooks. It goes, it stops. That 6.2 liter LT4 V8 engine it's so pure, it's so raw. The tires, they hook, the brakes, they stop well. Put it in track mode, the steering really tightens up, the shifting gets absolutely excellent, and the car is just a weapon. You can keep both hands on the steering wheel and the transmission's gonna do everything for you. What a great car. Let's send this thing back down the mountain, see how it feels going down with gravity on its side. That is it. That concludes our canyon run with the Camaro ZL1 1LE. Guys, this car is an absolute beast. I got it to step out a little bit, but it regained its composure, drove straight again. If you want to win this car, tap that link below, head over to freedomstreetgarage.com. Every dollar spent in our shop gets you interest towards winning this car. And if you're seeing this video, there's still time to win it. So if you want to be our next winner, get entered to win. We could be calling you.